Good evening. You're going to be buzzing all night long. We are absolutely in for a treat. We are thrilled and delighted that you are here. Concordia is beginning its 125th academic year, and I can think of few ways that are more exciting, more joy-filled than to celebrate it in music and song. This evening, we're deeply grateful to Jones National Bank and Trust for the sponsorship they're providing to bring Dr. Last here and for the incredible experience our students and faculty have had over the last 24 hours. It's an exciting year at Concordia, not just because we're beginning our 125th anniversary celebration, but we also welcome the largest incoming class since 1972. So God be praised for more wonderful undergraduate students. If you enjoy this evening, you may want to note on your program that March 23rd, 2019, there will be a very, very special event in celebration of our 125th anniversary and the choral and instrumental music programs at Concordia. We hope you can join us then. It's now my pleasure and privilege to introduce to you the president of Jones National Bank and Trust, Mr. Max Wake. Max?
Well, thank you, Dr. Friedrich, and good evening to all of you. I'm Max Wake, president of Jones National Bank and Trust Company. For many years, our bank has been so pleased to partner with Concordia University to sponsor the Jones Fine Arts Series. The intent of this program is to bring to campus an artist who can share their talents with faculty and staff, and students, most importantly, students. The hope is that this resource can contribute to these already strong fine arts programs at Concordia. In addition, a public performance is typically included as a way to connect with the campus community and beyond. So this year, we are so pleased to welcome Dr. Andrew Last. As I visited with those involved in the work today, I sensed an energy and excitement, and I'm looking forward to experiencing that with all of you tonight. Lastly, all performers need an audience. So thank you for attending. A wonderful crowd. Look at this, a full house. Thank you so much for being here, and for your support of the fine arts at Concordia and in Seward. It's very much appreciated. And now, please help us welcome Dr. Andrew Last.
Rupert knows how to do a Friday night. Good heavens, this is amazing. I am honored to be here today and honored to be with you and also to be with the fine students that I've gotten the opportunity to work with over the last 24 hours. This is a special community, and it's not one that I'm unfamiliar with. I started my collegiate teaching career here at Concordia several years ago. I was working on a doctoral degree down the road in Lincoln, and was hired here by Dr. Von Kampen to teach voice for my second year of my graduate studies at UNL. And I remember just walking onto the campus, walking into the building, and knowing that this was a special place. You can feel it. And as soon as I drove onto campus yesterday, returning, that feeling comes rushing back. This is a place that has a little bit of that special something. It's hard to name exactly maybe what it is, but you know it when you feel it. And it is so wonderful to be back and to be surrounded by that joy and by that feeling again. You're in for a treat, or at least I'm in for a treat tonight, because I get to lead these fine young singers. They've worked tremendously hard, and the best compliment that I can give to them is that they were teachable. There are often times that I will go and do an event like this where it seems like I just say the same things over and over and not much gets changed. And they set that bar right away yesterday. They were just so willing to change, so willing to listen, so willing to just experiment with what music could be. And that's saying a lot, especially knowing what kind of a choral program is already here. They don't have necessarily a reason to be that open to do that, but they are. And so it's been my pleasure to be with you and be with them in these 2 days. This group will finish up with the Aaron Copland classic, Ching-a-Ring Chaw. I'm not sure which one of these you'll prefer, either to sit in silence or hear me tell a story, but you're going to get a story. I mentioned this to the singers before the concert tonight, that one of the truly profound and greatest gifts that we receive as professors is that we also get taught by our students in many times unexpected ways. I think the responsibility we all feel is to teach our students, but it doesn't always work that way. And this past summer, my ensemble back at Luther College, we toured Germany and the Czech Republic. And so we were gone for about 14 days on that travel. And one of the things that I liked to do on that trip was we would stop for dinner at places and the choir would eat together. And I would always make it a point of finding a new table to eat at each night. So that I could, have a chance to interact with the students and check in with them on the trip. And I became known as the guy that always liked to grill questions of my students. What their major was, what their plans after graduation were going to be. If I heard that there was a boyfriend or girlfriend involved, I always wanted to dig for a little bit of information if I could. And one of the last nights of the tour, we went around the table and I asked them, what was your highlight of the tour? And one of them mentioned some of the places that we had gotten to sing in over the tour. And another one mentioned particular songs or particular moments of songs that meant a lot to them. And there was another young man as we got around the table who said, Dr. Last, I just enjoyed having conversations with people. And I thought, well, that's kind of an interesting comment to make after a 2-week trip to Germany and the Czech Republic. I said, what do you mean by that? And he said, well, I noticed that nobody had cell service on this trip. And we were forced to have conversations with each other. And it was at that moment that I remembered that, it is so important for us to be present in life. And we are distracted by so many different ways, electronics, TV, anything that goes on in this world. And it's so easy for us to be distracted and really not be able to focus on the things that matter. So I challenge these young men and women up here before the concert to maybe take that little piece of information. They don't need my choral knowledge. They have plenty of great choral knowledge here. But maybe they could take that little tidbit with them after tonight, which is to simply be present in the moment and to be present for something that is so beautiful and so valued in this community, and that is music. And so that every time they come together to do something like this, whether it's one of the choirs or all of the choirs, that they come together to be present in a space like this, with music like this, and to be present with one another, and how important that is. And so I challenge you to that same thing. Can you find moments in life to take away the distractions and be present? And I would invite you now to be present with us in these last two pieces. I'm sure you have been for the rest of the concert. But be ready right now to be present with us, because you're going to hear some miraculous music here in a second, and then we're going to ask you to sing with us. And what better time for all of us to just find time to be together with great music and to just be present. Thank you.
I had one job to do with the Jones Fine Arts series this year, and I nailed it. I get a lot of credit because I picked this guy to come and work with our students for the last 24 hours. Are you clapping for me or for him? Andrew Last is a good friend and a great colleague, and it is a great honor to know that we have someone up in Decorah, Iowa, who cares for us and who thinks about us now and again, and we hope that you take a little bit of Concordia with you. I bought you a t-shirt, so you better take that with you at least. But it has been a thrill, and it would have been cool if y'all could have seen the rehearsals, because that is really, really the greatest thing about this isn't the performance, it's the rehearsals and the learning and the excitement that was shared. And after each rehearsal, the students flocked around Dr. Last and talked to him and said, "Thank you so much for coming. We love you. We think you're a great conductor." And then I had to pull him away and say, "Don't go to Iowa now. We want to keep you right here." But really, from the bottom of our hearts, we are super grateful for everything you've done for us in the last 24 hours. So I would be remiss if I didn't express my gratitude to my colleagues here at Concordia who had something to do with this event. Professor Paul Solik, also the Minister of Music here at St. John, is the conductor of the male chorus, so let's give him a round of applause. And Dr. Jeffrey Blursch conducts the Cantamus Women's Chorus. Jeff is at the organ there. Let's thank Jeff. Thank you also to Dr. Elizabeth Grimpo for assisting and collaborating with us on the piano. Does such a terrific job. So thank you to Dr. Grimpo too. And now we get a chance to show Dr. Last what singing is really like in Seward, Nebraska. You all are invited to join in song on a great hymn, Praise the Lord the Almighty, if you take out your hymnals from the pew in front of you. And we will now conclude with the great hymn, Praise to the Lord the Almighty.